Thank you.
All right. Denting is going to talk to us about her blended course.
All right, I would like to first thank Amy for this opportunity and organize this forum and for all the hard work put together. And second, I want to point out that I'm actually a new kid. This is my first semester teaching online courses, so I'm here to learn. My topic is technology and motivation, engaging students in blended learning. Since my field is education psychology, I'm always interested in motivation. I put a picture of my daughter here because I became a mother 4 years ago, and I found one thing very interesting. Ever since she was 3 months old, she's been addicted to technology. So the question, but I found one puzzling phenomenon is, in reality, when we are using, when we're having face-to-face instructions in the format, the students are all distracted by technology. They're, Facebook, is text messaging, or they're using cell phone, playing games, or just like, not concentrating in class. But if we give them technology, like we use online teaching or blended learning, technology becomes a nuisance for them. Okay, okay. I say this because when I was taking the Slow C online workshop, I'll be honest, I did not enjoy that much. I was constantly like absent-minded and did not engage me that much. So the question I'm trying to investigate through this semester is like, why are students so addicted to technology but off task in face-to-face teaching format? And why does technology become a burden with online teaching format? And how can we engage technology, or how can we use technology to engage students with online teaching? This is my Bible, okay? So I developed this mutual value learning theory when I was doing my dissertation work in 2007. Just very quickly, what I believe, why people learn and how people learn. I believe in order for people to learn, there's a key word, it's the value. The students have to see the value of what you're doing in order to learn, regardless it's online, it's blended, or it's face-to-face. So here we have 3 types of value. The first one is the students have to feel confident. The teacher have to feel confident. That's called self-value. And the second one is perceived self-value. The students have to feel being valued by the teacher. And the teacher has to feel being valued by the student. And the next one is the other value. It means the students have to value the teacher, respect the teacher, and think the teacher has something important to say. And the teacher has to value the student, feel the students are competent, they're intelligent, they're motivated. And then I believe these other 3 values, they're like the safety guards. It's like the security guard, So if those values are not being fulfilled, and then definitely the learning door, the door of learning will be blocked, and they cannot get into the middle. And the middle one is called course value. That means the students see value in the course, whatever content, materials, or information. So in order to create that course value in the middle, the instruction, either face-to-face or online, has to have meet 6 criteria. The first one is interesting, meaningful, challenging, achievable, important, relevant, and fulfilling. I call 6 because these 2 are combined. It's difficulty level. It's challenging but achievable. Okay. All right, so what I did is to try to fulfill those values. For example, the self-value is always trying to discover students' talents and instill a sense of confidence on them. Focus on the strengths. I see myself almost as like a talent finder. When I read the students' journals, grade their assignments on a face-to-face. Oh wow, very nice haircut! I love it. So just make them feel good about themselves. And next one is the perceived self-value. Is to make the students feel they are being valued by the teacher and also by their classmates. One strategy I do is called community of respect. It's like every student come to classroom the first day, they come up with 1 or 2 rules in order for you to feel respected in the community. And they love it, and that works like a charm. They really like it, and they feel very assured in this community I will be respected, and they feel safe. They can say whatever they want to say. And the next one is the other value. Is one thing other value is, as I said, there are 2 other values. Is teacher's other value for the instructor, and the instructor other value for the students. So for here, I always show interest in the students, make them feel that I really listen to them, value their feedback. Another one is how do we gain that value from our students? One strategy I do is I print out some of their previous students' evaluations, like how wonderful I am, okay, and just share with them how much they enjoy my class. Another one is I put on the blackboard. It's just put a little tiny little a bar that said about the instructor. Not to brag myself, but before students know you, they can say, oh, about the instructors. Oh wow, she is very competent. So. Next one is the course value, is to help students find the passion in education, find why is health important for them to learn. So the first day, I normally try to scare away some students, and I would say, okay, I first welcome them. I say, welcome to the education psychology, and I always start my class with Confucius, because I'm from China. So Confucius is a very famous saying. He said, nothing is noble except education. Welcome to the most noble profession. But okay, you have to have a passion in education, because teachers really do not make that much money, and they do not have high status in the society. So you have to really care for education, care for students. You want to be sitting here, just leave anytime. And then they also, yeah, I think I am passionate about education. So you increase the course value and kind of wake them up and make them aware of their course value. Next one is what I did, create the course value, high course value, to make your class interesting. I always try to create some kind of activity. So that takes a lot of creativity, make each class a little unpredictable. They always say, I have no idea what's going to be next class. I always look forward, it's exciting. Okay. For example, we have a lot of games, like I am writing a poem, the dance card, name game, a blind date. Blind date is a very simple game. For example, if I want students to review the concept, identity versus role confusion, I just cut this to, you have identity or role confusion, but they have no idea who has who. And say, okay, now stand up and find out who matches you. Okay, that will be a blind date. And then we get together and say, oh, you're my blind date. We can talk about what it means, and then, how can we apply to education? So that's blind date. It's very simple, but it's, oh, that's exciting. Okay, to find my date. Okay. Okay, so next one is meaningful, to make the students find the passion in education, make them feel whatever they learned, they can apply to the future or to the present life. And also use authentic learning materials. I use a lot of case studies from my previous students' work. They feel, oh, these are real people's real work. Okay. And also always encourage the students to apply what they learned to real life, make it meaningful, and make it challenging. I think I have the reputation in the college education that my course is very demanding. I actually, one time I had a student send me an email. I said, Dr. Boyan, I heard your class is very demanding. Is that true? And I said, yes. I said, if you cannot take it, switch to the other session. So you have to set high standards. For example, all my students' work, I tell them, has to be publishable, okay? And it has to be professional. Do not just get it done, get your grades. And also, I also have a design a very challenging research, project. One thing I believe is learning is much more powerful when they're always driven by some kind of question, some kind of wonder, and they're actually constantly wondering why is this. So I have a research project rather than just sitting here listening, taking notes.
You're halfway through your presentation,
Okay.
and we have to get to Blackboard still.
All right. So next one is achievable. Basically here, I would like to thank Amy and all the team for providing all the support to make it happen. Okay. And here is an example for achievable. One thing, because I'm teaching, there are 2 sessions of the same course. One is on Mondays face-to-face. So another one is the blended one. So I had this idea. How about I recorded the Monday one and then put it on YouTube so they can watch it anytime as a review. So here I will share a little quick example. Okay, there it is. So I created this a YouTube account to put all my courses there. Is there any sound?
Oh, you have to raise the sound.
Just very quick.
Okay, so community respecting mind, I know you're still actively constructing your own the way to start the class, you always have a creative review activity. Students come here and do a little scenario and let the other students guess what a concept is that.
Daddy, look, what is that tree?
Oh, no, that's a bush. See how small it is? That's a bush. Trees are much bigger and they have branches and leaves. Bushes are round. It's a bush, not a tree.
All right, so that's just an example what I recorded, and then just this is my, how do you say, YouTube account, and students just can go there and click the videos.
Those are for your blended weeks?
Yes, these are for my blended, but it's open for their other class as well if they want. You know, some
Can
people sometimes.
anybody see that? Can anybody, is it public
No,
or
it's
just your
unlisted.
class?
I took Amy's advice because worried about their security
Okay.
issues. Okay. So. This is another example what I did to make the students feel like fulfilling, to feel like accomplished. This is a journal, I call it, I created myself since 2008 when I was in Texas, Brownsville, Texas, Texas. Journal of Classroom Teaching and Learning. And the reason I put it here because every time when I grade my students' work, I find something very, important, very powerful. I just put it there and then just make students feel like, wow, my work is being published, okay, and they feel great. Okay, so this is their website for their class journal. So make them feel like accomplished something, okay? Okay, so I want to quickly talk about my first online synchronized session. I must say I was really, really nervous about this session because it's my first time. I have no idea how it will work. I was also very nervous about technology issues, like how it will work out. I'm very proud to say it's a really, really big success. Here, this is my handout. The last 3 pages are all the students' reactions. So all these materials are selected from the materials. You can see the students feel like excited. They were like surprised by how engaging it was. So the students said like great first one. They were very surprised. Excellent experience. Laughed a lot. And it's so much fun. More relaxed. Enjoyed. Sense of community, bonding, and more engaging, more participation. Very insightful, very educational. And they actually tell me they're looking forward to next online session. They don't want to see me. I was like, what? Okay, so I asked the students to reflect like what worked so well. Then when I analyze their responses, I can still use my mutual value theory framework to analyze it. For example, students feel like they have high self-value, I have self-confidence, I'm comfortable in the classroom. Perceived self-value, these students say, I enjoy the small setting in our class because it allows students to create a tight bond, okay, to feel very connected. Or other value, here they're talking about how much they enjoy the classmates. She said Siren is a great person to laugh with, Mikey is a well-spoken young man, and Dyson sit together laughing. So you can see they relate very well with the classmates. Another one is the other value for the instructor. You can see this teacher, she was really, really grateful that she can be in my class and she really enjoyed these experiences. And another one interesting, this student said, I actually thoroughly enjoy the interaction between us, students and you, the teacher. I feel that you, Dr. Pointer, really always do your best to make class interesting. So they see the class as interesting. Perhaps we can uncover what happened and why it happened. So this is the students talk about like in the class or in the course, I always make them constantly wonder why. They feel like it's challenging. There is always a quest there. Another one is important, always make the students feel that it's important, the materials, because they can apply to whatever students they are teaching. Next one is the meaningful, the students mentioned because they can apply what they learn to my own students. Since I have been exposed to the materials of this course, I constantly find myself analyzing my own students. I love this one. That means he is applying what we learned in class to his own students. And relevant, I was able to relate well to Marcia's theory because it's not as rigorous as Erickson's. So the students always can relate to themselves. All right, so to conclude, in order to engage students online, as I said, it's not so much about the advancement of the technology. It's all those values. To create a personal values, the student self-value, students perceived self-value, student other value, teacher self-value, teacher perceived self-value, teacher other value, teacher course value, and the student course value. And in order to make your class engaging, either face-to-face or online, these are the 6 criteria, like interesting, meaningful, challenging, achievable, relevant, important, and fulfilling. All right, several issues and concerns raised through this experience. The first one is stressful. The students talk about in the beginning, they had trouble finding the internet, they were about getting late, so that caused her a little stress. Another one is unable to participate. I had 2 students share the same computer because they did not bring the headset. Once they did not use it, I hear the echoing sound, so I asked them to just turn it off and share one. So the other student, she was a little unhappy because she was sharing before, for example, you 2 were sharing. He was one typing all the responses and you could not participate, so he was a little unhappy. Next one is the time for preparation. Sometimes I was attachment, to them ahead of time. This is that caused them a little stress. Next one is the quality of the lecture video. Because I showed a little bit clip of the video to you, I was not quite happy in myself because I feel like if you watch it for 2 hours, I think the students will feel kind of boring. So how can we make the video more engaging? So that will require a professional photographer. I don't think we have money for that. Okay. All right. So that's all I have. And thank you very much for listening. And I would like to welcome any questions. A little pop quiz. Okay. So just tell me what theory framework I used for online teaching. I have a prize here. Mutual value theory, good job. Okay, I created this myself. This is like my Bible. I just put it there every time the class does not work. I said, which value is missing? Okay, all right. So I have some extra here if you want. Okay, you just pass them around.
I have a question actually.
Yes.
Who was doing the videotaping? Did you just you had one of the tech guys there for every one of your
No,
lectures?
that's actually the problem. We don't have anybody to watch the camera. They just leave it there and they drop it and they leave. So
Okay.
yes, that's why it's like sometimes.
And you do that every week?
Yeah, I do that every week. Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to be teaching a blended class in the spring, and when I sat down with Amy and we talked about what audio or visual to put up that would be helpful for the students, one of the things that quickly talked about and that I was mulling over is if you videotape the class, let's say the semester you're teaching it face-to-face,
Yeah.
then you have the students from that semester
Yeah.
doing the interacting. And I don't know kind of how that plays out.
I did not
with
quite
the
understand.
students. Well, so the students who are in the online or blended version of the course,
Yes.
by watching a different class's
Oh, yeah.
lecture,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
seeing how other students respond to the questions or the
Yeah,
activities.
yeah.
And I don't know if you have any sense whether that kind of takes away from their responses or engagement when then you ask them to do a similar or related activity.
Oh.
If that makes any sense. Yeah.
That's a very good question. Students so far they haven't responded talking about that much yet. They actually say, "Oh, it's good to know that there is some resources there, and if there's any point I don't understand, I can always go there for references." I think this is particularly appreciated by the international students. I have 2 Chinese students. They would because their English was not very advanced. They're like, "Oh, thank you so much for doing this because I really had trouble to follow you in class because it's too fast."
So it's more useful in some ways for the
I think so.
face-to-face.
This one is useful because sometimes we have asynchronous session. That means I do not meet them online. So for example, this class we talk about at risk taking of lessons. So I just lecture this on Monday, put it on YouTube, and they just go there, watch it anytime, and respond to their assignments. So that's one use of it. Yeah.
And then you do that for each of your 5 or however many blended courses that you do each time. It's the same format where you have a videotape of your.
Oh, you have different format each time. Yeah.
How do you choose a time for synchronous meetings?
Oh, you mean decide what time?
Yeah, and then, you know, if you don't have, and I assume it normally happens, if you don't have universal agreement, you know,
Oh, that's a good one.
how do you deal with that with respect to like fairness and equity?
I had a little trouble with the time because in the beginning I did not know what is on the website. They told me there was no information there. They assumed it is a complete online course. So when I sent the email, so this is going to be a blended one, they were like a little surprised. And then so I put their course schedule there. Face to face, you could meet half the time face to face, half the time it's on how do you say online. It's exactly the same time, 5 to 7 on Wednesday. But they seem to be fine with that. So.
Okay, any other questions
Yes.
of Dainty? Yes.
Do you have a particular technique or game or suggestion for how you create the safe environments and community?
I highly recommend the community respect activity. It's very simple. I actually use it for my husband. Seriously, we've been married for 13 years. Like the first 2 years, we always fight. And after I discovered this activity, I applied it. We really don't fight anymore. So what is the community respect? It's basically on the first day, you tell the students it's very important to create a community respect. And just ask every student to think of 1 or 2 things you think are very important for you to feel respected. At first they had a trouble, say, oh, I don't have any rules. And then they say, okay, think about your pet peeves, think about those classmates driving you crazy, or think about the professors driving you crazy. They say, oh yeah, I got some. So they say, okay, maybe for example, always respond to my email at least, within a week. Do not ignore my email, grade me fairly, or listen when I'm talking. So those are whatever rules they want. So and then type it and put it there. If you want to take more serious, have everybody sign on it. So, yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
When they have to go to YouTube to access your videos, or can they access your videos through Blackboard?
It is on Blackboard as well. I put a link there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is
put the
like
link.
it's a link on the Blackboard. It's called a class videos, but all the videos are on YouTube.
Yeah, but you could actually embed the videos in the Blackboard,
Oh.
in the shell.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Maybe I should learn
Uh,
from you.
Yes, Kim?
Question, what was the platform for the synchronous session? Adobe Connect?
Adobe Connect. Yes.
Okay, any other questions? No? Grace, you're up.